Hawaiian music, island contemporary, reggae, country, R&B, and soul. This wahine can do it all. She's been a part of our Kanilea Ohana since 2018, and I cannot wait for you to meet her, especially because she's got the greatest name in the world. Lina Robins-Tamure joins us on Kanilea's Artist Spotlight with the breakdown. I am so happy to have you in studio to talk story.
Oh, thank you so much.
This is amazing.
For having me, sister.
Yeah. Okay, so let's first start off with the thing that's most important.
Okay.
How is it possible that you have a fabulous name just like me? Nah, just kidding.
No, let me tell you the story.
The story of
There's
Lina?
a whole story of why it's Lina.
Why you're Lina?
Yeah.
Is because you love me so much you named yourself after
absolutely.
me?
That's the number 2 reason. That's the 1.5 reason why it's Lina. No, so my former self, my good friends in high school, and actually it started from the Asing Ohana up in Pūpūkanioe. Them and then a small group of my friends, because we all knew each other. My name was Paulina. That was my nickname. A little bit off from Auntie Pauline Kekahuna, iconic Hawaiian musician. That was kind of part of my nickname. And then just Paulina was like my nickname in high school between my friends. And so when the time came for me to transition, they're like, what's your name going to be? And I was like, I just can keep Lina. It's short, it's easy to remember, it's pretty, and yeah, so that's why Lina.
Yeah.
And I don't even know if you remember me messaging you like years ago. I was like, sis, I'm not trying to steal anything. I just, it just happened.
Steal it because I agree. Lina is pretty.
It's pretty. It's easy to remember.
It is.
Yeah.
Okay, so you say the word transition.
Yes.
So let's go ahead and take you back a little ways.
Sure.
Because this is what these interviews are all about. I really want our Kanilea Ohana and our Ohana all around the world to really get to know the musicians that I love.
Okay.
So let's go back to where the music began for you.
Being told from my parents, I started singing at 2 years old. My dad is a musician. My dad's side of the family is where the music comes from for me. My mom, full Japanese Filipino girl, but she was a dancer in Waikiki for years and years, and traveled to Japan and Korea, and she was like a showgirl before. But dad's side is where I get the music from, and so I started singing at 2 years old. And I know you had asked me about like my influences and stuff, and the story I tell everybody is that Robi Kahakalau is the reason why I sing. She is the reason why I sing.
Sister Robi.
Sister Robi. Oh. I remember when I was very, very young, she had it was her own Hot Hawaiian Nights. Mm-hmm. I remember we recorded it on VHS, and I wore that sucker out. Yeah, and so just the Sister Robi album, her first solo album, so solid.
That's where the desire to sing and perform came from.
I love till this day, and the fact that I even know her just pinches me all the time when I see her. I'm always starstruck when I see her. But I always say that Sister Robi is the reason why I sing today, because I was obsessed with that album.
So that's Hawaiian with a little bit. She had a really sweet kind of island reggae vibe in her music. Yeah. And she speaks and sings in different languages, right? But you got a little bit of R&B soul in you too, right? Yeah.
So I think that's also stems from my dad. My dad, he was born in 52, so like a lot of his inspirations is like Elvis. He's a massive Elvis fan, but like the music through the 60s, R&B from the 60s, and even like classic rock. And so a lot of my inspiration, or like the genres that I love, is because of my dad. So when I started really taking on R&B was, I think I was like 7 or 8, and he introduced me to Aretha Franklin. Dad started playing Aretha Franklin, and I was like, oh my gosh, who is this lady? And I remember the VH1 Divas live in 1998. That's when you had Aretha. She was like the headliner, and had Mariah and Celine and Shania Twain and Gloria Estefan and Carole King. And I remember watching that concert, and that's when I just started to be obsessed with R&B and soul music and pop music, and so those are like the two like really jumping off points for me as far as Hawaiian music, and then just diving into like R&B and gospel music.
Oh yeah. So you got to meet Robi, who was one of your early influences.
Yeah.
Did you get a chance to meet Aretha?
I was never blessed with that chance.
No, but you did get a chance to meet one of the other divas that was a part of that VH1 special, right?
I did get to meet Mariah Carey when I was 12 years old. That whole thing started because I'm sure you remember when Oprah used to have like the Wildest Dreams come true shows before.
And Mariah joined our Wildest Dreams team because she has such a big heart to help a special boy meet his date with destiny. Now, young Paul knew he was going to LA. He knew that he was going to be coming to the Oprah Show, and he was going there to rehearse for his singing debut. But what he didn't know was that the one and only Mariah Carey was about to drive right into his life.
So I think...
Did you have to like write a letter?
Yeah.
And send that dream
because
in?
By that time, I remember my parents asking me when I was 8 years old that I wanted to do music like professionally and do that as my career at 8 years old. And by that time, I'd been doing like the state fair and like whatever kind. I did Road to Fame karaoke one year.
That's so cool. So young.
Yeah.
And getting on stage.
And I already knew that that's what I wanted to do. So when I said it at 8 years old, then my parents really took it seriously and was trying to
make it happen.
Make it happen. We tried to do anything that we could to kind of get a career started some way. So I remember we're like, oh, who better to ask than Oprah. So I remember my parents and I wrote a letter, and we recorded a video of me singing just like different songs. We sent it to them, not thinking anything, I mean, hoping and praying that something would come of it, but not harping on it or whatever. So I remember, I hope you don't mind, it's kind of a lengthy story, but I remember somebody had called my dad and my parents and said that they were from, I don't know if it was like KHON or something, and they wanted to do like a piece on me singing or whatever. And so that's what the story was to my dad then, and that it was going to be a surprise. So what they told me was that my dad was on Hawaii Stars back in the day. So they said that my parents told me that, the news doing like this recap of like Hawaii Stars contestants, and that they wanted to talk to Dad. I was like, oh, that's great. But at the time, we lived at Makaha Valley Towers in Makaha, and it was the kind where you had to alert the guard shack, who was gonna come up, and and so they told him it was just gonna be like one van, couple people, one cameraman, and then one interviewer, and then but the only thing is, I think it was on like my birthday, like dinner, like my birthday. And so, but no, my dad is very old school. So you told him gonna have one car and two people. That's what we telling the people at the guard shack. So we got the call from the guard shack that day. There's like 6 vans, and like so much people, trying to get up. And then so the producer, and this time we don't know it's Oprah. We don't know they're actually from Oprah. We're just thinking they're from like KHON or whatever. So the producer calls my dad, and my dad, you guys said this, and now we hear a different story, and we're supposed to go out for my son's birthday, and so the story not matching up. So what you guys doing, whatever. So he said, and then my dad threatened, we was gonna leave, so, but they're like, no, please just stay. We'll come up. They got up, opened the door, and all I seen was like 6 girls, 6 boys from Paradise Cove, like dressed full on. And then one producer that walked up and said, "Hi, my name is Keilana from the Oprah Show," and we just
lost it,
freaked out and lost it. Yeah, so I mean, from there, we flew to Chicago. No, we flew to LA, I think. And in the video and the letter that we had wrote, I had mentioned that Mariah Carey was one of my all-time favorite singers and artists. And so it was decided that, I guess because the age I was, and, they wanted to go in kind of like a inspirational genre of music. So they picked for me to sing Hero by Mariah.
There's a hero if you look inside your heart. You don't have to be afraid of what you are. There's an answer if you reach into your soul, and the sorrow that you know will melt away.
So we went to the studio, and they said, "Oh, there's a vocal coach coming to work with you for the performance." And so I was in a booth. We were at Jim Henson Studios, and it was beautiful. We were in this like big recording studio that a lot of like legendary people have recorded in. So it was just a lot. And so we were there for a while waiting. And then they finally said, "Oh, the vocal coach is here." I said, "Oh, okay." But they had a camera on me. So I was like, "Oh, okay." So they're looking for some kind of reaction. But I never would have expected to see Mariah Carey and
your vocal coach.
And Randy Jackson come around the corner.
As your vocal coaches.
Yeah.
Okay, Mariah, take it away.
Hi, Paul. Oh my goodness. Mariah Carey. How are you? Oh my God. Nice to meet you.
I brought another friend with me just to see.
Shaking.
She surprises all of us by inviting one of her dear friends, American Idol's Randy Jackson.
What's up, Randy?
What's up? How are you?
Oh, I'm perfect. Oh my goodness.
So that was crazy, and it was such a good day. They gave a lot of their time just to like work with me and like dynamics and stuff. And another like cool thing I always share about that time is I learned to harmonize that day. I learned to harmonize from Mariah Carey.
Because you were singing solo all this time. Right?
Yeah, at that time, and I was still young yet, and so I didn't have to worry about, that kind of stuff. But what we were doing was we were working on my performance for that day, but we were also recording it in the studio. So Mariah talked about, that she's classically known for doing all her background vocals, or a lot of her background vocals.
Herself.
Yeah, herself. So yeah, that's another cool thing that I always like to claim, is that I learned how to harmonize from Mariah Carey.
You can claim that.
Yeah,
that's amazing. And you used a lot of that coaching. You took some of that coaching with you into what you're doing now.
Yeah, just because like harmony is like, and I'm not like the best at it by far, but it's something that is so much fun for any singer to do.
Yeah.
So there was so much that happened during that time, but it was those moments not on camera that I really, 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 really cherish.
And that's the thing, is that's the thing now,
Yeah.
right? BTS, behind the scenes.
Yeah.
But back then they never thought to capture behind the scenes. Now it's a big thing, right?
Yeah.
But I'm glad that you have it all up here,
Yeah.
and that you're actually using it, because Lina, your voice is just incredibly warm and beautiful and soothing. Really, really, I love a lot of your solo work. But I seem to think that you shine when you're in a group, when your voice is either being supported by other voices or when you are supporting other voices. I just, I love to see that iteration of Lina. Like I said, stand alone as a solo artist, absolutely. But when you're in a group, that's amazing. So much so that you're kind of like in 3 groups, right? Right? Let's count them all off. Right? So on your R&B side, you hang out with a crew called Brunch.
Yeah, we call ourselves Brunch.
Tell us a little bit about that.
We're just, and we're not even like a not even like official group, but just
Right.
a bunch of friends that we just love to sing with each other and love to support each other. Not only musically, I mean, emotionally,
As
whatever,
friends.
as friends. I mean, I'm lucky to say that this group is just stacked with beautiful
Hands down.
vocalist artists.
Name 'em
And
all.
We got our good friend DeAndre, Izik, JROQ,
JROQ.
Simple Souls, our good friend Melanie, Evan Khay, our friend Keilana, and and everybody's out and doing their thing.
And that's a beautiful thing. This particular group is made up of soloists. I mean, everybody
Yeah.
shines as soloists.
Yeah.
But when you guys get together, you guys make some sweet R&B.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it's good. And then I mean not just through Brunch, but I've got to work especially close with like my good friend Izik and DeAndre.
I love when you folks are doing you guys are singing in the range and you guys are just doing it in harmony. And I think when you're doing those, what is it, arpeggios? I don't know the classical terminology for it. When you're running lines, right? You're doing your runs. To do that as a soloist is one thing, but then to do it in harmony, 3 people, that's just magic. And that's trust. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
trust.
I wanna dance on the roof, you and me alone. I wanna come to the feeling. Oh yeah, I wanna come to the feeling. Oh yeah.
And it doesn't come easy. Well, not not for me anyway.
I'm sure there was a million takes, and then only the
yeah.
good one got to social media.
Yeah,
I get
yeah.
that. And then there's a newer iteration of a trio that you're with, and that's Pūpūkanioe. Tell us about that.
Yeah, Pūpūkanioe is another group of friends. Myself, Ikaika Blackburn, and my aunt Iwalani, Ho'o. Actually, we've been playing together for quite a number of years, but we just like playing music together. We sound good together,
Oh,
and
yes.
so
And you get to work your falsettos in that one, right?
yeah, because we scream, we scream in
girl.
that group. And then
there's uhene.
yeah, my home base. Uhene is made up of myself and my 2 cousins, Jordan Aina Asing and Heather Kapua Kamakahala. Again, the 3 of us, we come from long lines of music and hula. We've been playing together for last year made 10 years that we've been playing together. And there's just a comfort with the 2 of them.
Something familiar.
Yeah. And just how close we are and how well we know each other, even if we drive each other crazy.
Of course, that's
and
cousins.
that's just how it goes. So, but yeah, those are the kind of the main groups that I'm cycling nowadays.
I love
Yeah.
that. And I know that there's been music in the works in regards to recordings
Yes.
and a full length album. And I believe it's uhene we're looking at for.
Yes.
Of the 3, it would be uhene that we're looking at.
Yes.
Maybe later
Hopefully
this year,
within the
or-
next 30 years. No, I'm just joking.
Don't make us wait that long.
No. We did start our album. We're working with Dave Tucheron. And we started, and then the pandemic hit, and that got put on pause, and then just because of life, we just haven't been able to get back in the studio. But I believe we're trying to look at getting back this year.
Okay, so what do we see for the future of Lina besides this album that we're waiting for from uhene? Where can we go and see you? Because are you performing solo, or is it only in groups now, or are you kind of stepping back from?
No.
Playing, or-
I do have some solo stuff. You can really keep track of that. I try to update it on my socials as much as I can. Instagram is probably the most active on socials that I'm on. So you can follow me at Lina RT, Lina _R_T. I do like a lot of. Well, there's this one spot that I'm at quite a lot in Kapolei at the embassy Suites by
Embassy
Hilton
Suites.
in Kapolei.
Yes.
I've been over there more often now, and but yeah, if you follow my socials, I can update on like where I am because it's kind of all over the place. There's no set place for now. And then as far as what else to look forward to, Lina, it's not set yet, but hopefully there will be my first legit like solo single by the end of this year.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Hopefully.
We got inside scoops. We got inside scoops.
Hopefully.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Well, sister, I want to thank you so much for hanging out
Thank you
and
for
talking
having
story
me,
with me.
sis.
Can you sample a little bit of your range right here before we say bye-bye?
Ooh.
Just do me a little acapella sampling of whatever you want.
Like a run or something?
Yes,
Like,
do her. Go for it.
okay, I don't know why. Maybe it's because I'm with you. Because just FYI, I am one of the biggest Waiho'olu'u fans. And I tell Lina and sisters that all the time. So maybe that's why this came to my head. Why you wanna break my heart and leave me on my own? That was just I don't know. That's all I can think about.
It's amazing. Lina Robins-Tamure right here with Kanile ukulele. Ooh, teach me that one. Why you? I cannot do that.
You get obsessed.